Marshall.
The promise of the future on display today. It's the MLS Under-17 Championship game with Real Salt Lake taking on guest club Stoke City from the English Premier League in the Generation Adidas Cup Final. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching. We're coming to you live from North Texas, Frisco, Texas to be exact, and Toyota Stadium for the final game of the Generation Adidas Cup. Real Salt Lake and Stoke City squaring off for the title. These teams got here with wins on Friday night in the semifinals. These four teams competing Friday had really dominated the whole tournament. And Stoke City got us started taking on Flamengo, earning a first-half penalty kick as Charles Westenhales, one of the tournament's leading scorers, was taken down in the 27th minute. Converted the penalty kick himself to put Stoke up 1-0. Flamengo tied it late in the second half. But then Westenhales added again. This is the 70th minute. These are 70-minute games, so this is the final minute of regulation. Westenhales with a steal, runs the end line and sets up Kyron Hamilton, one of the only substitutes available to Stoke City. It looked like they had won the game against Flamengo, who had dominated the tournament. Flamengo actually then tied the game in stoppage time, a recurring theme, disappointingly, for Stoke City. But in the shootout, after losing one on Tuesday, Stoke City a chance to win it. Lewis Banks, the defender, fires it home, and it was a 4-3 shootout win for Stoke City on Friday night, sending them to the championship game. As you look at Stoke City today in the familiar red and white stripes. On the other side, Real Salt Lake took on FC Dallas, an MLS rival, in the second semifinal on Friday night, and the game ended up with a 3-0 scoreline, but it was really all about one play that changed the game, that made the game on Friday night, and it came from another one of the tournament's leading scorers, Sebastian Saucedo from Real Salt Lake. He's going to take a pass here from Aaron Herrera, and just watch this strike from Sebastian Saucedo, 35 yards away, sees a little opportunity, and capitalizes with a heck of a chip. Certainly one of, if not the, plays of the tournament so far. And that put Real Salt Lake up 1-0 late in the first half. They went on to win it 3-0. Saucedo set up both of the other two goals. And that's how Real Salt Lake advanced to the championship game. Captain Saucedo on your left, and Banks on your right for Stoke City, wearing the captain's armbands today and getting ready for this title match. These teams have already met once in the tournament. It was Tuesday night in group play, and it was an epic game if you can have one in group play that's non-elimination. Stoke City getting off to an early lead here. This was 6 minutes in. Julian Ngoy cleaning up Charles Westenhales' pressure and giving Stoke City a 1-0 lead. Real Salt Lake tied it, really dominated the second half. Leo Fuchs with a blast to the top corner. That made it 1-1. Stoke City would then take the lead. Again, this is a familiar theme in the final minute of regulation. Westenhales, again the man on the spot after the free kick, volleys that one in. Take a look at this control here. Volleyed it in at the near post. He thought they had won it. He was yelling at the fans who were cheering for Real Salt Lake. But in the third minute of 3 minutes of stoppage time, Tate Schmidt got in behind the Stoke City defense, got this one over the line. That tied it 2-2. And you can see the celebration. It was a really emotional game on Tuesday. Real Salt Lake then would take the shootout. Aaron Herrera converting the final chance to give Salt Lake a 4-2 win in the shootout. And that gave them an extra point in the standings. They finished top of the group. Stoke City had to qualify in second place. That meant they played Flamengo, who had been the best team in the tournament. And we already showed you how they dealt with that one. Real Salt Lake, Stoke City, getting set to battle for the Generation Adidas Cup Final. Real Salt Lake, a residency program in Arizona, which is part of the club's homegrown territory, even though the team is based in Utah. They have 20 players here. Teams are allowed 5 substitutes during the course of the match. Stoke City, on the other hand, only brought 16 players, and 2 of them are not eligible to play in the tournament. They normally compete with this group. They're still 16. But the tournament rules state 1997 birthday or later, so unfortunately Oliver Roberts, Liam Edwards are here but can't compete, so only 14 players for Stoke City, one of whom is always going to be a redundant backup goalkeeper, and so only 2 field player substitutes available. These Stoke guys are tired. We talked to a couple of them yesterday, but they're excited about this chance. Getting set for kickoff here. Real Salt Lake and Stoke City in the Generation Adidas Cup Championship game. We are underway on this Easter Sunday from Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas, 45 miles north of Dallas, with the Generation Adidas Cup final. Stoke City, of course, red and white stripes, white shorts, white socks, going right to left, south to north, attacking toward the stage here at Toyota Stadium. Real Salt Lake in claret from head to toe, with the navy blue and gold trim, cobalt blue, I'm sure they would prefer me to say, going left to right, north to south, attacking toward Main Street here in Frisco, Texas. Aaron Herrera, the right back, on the ball for Real Salt Lake. We'll get to the starting lineups shortly. It is a contrast in styles from a formation perspective, as the first foul of the game is in favor of Stoke City. The referees this morning here in Texas, Victor Rivas is the official in charge. Kyle Atkins and Danny Thornberry, the assistant referees. Rubiel Vasquez, the 4th official. There's a look at Mr. Rivas. Stoke play that one to the corner, looking for Weston Hales. It's ushered out for a goal kick. The Stoke City starting lineup, it's a 4-4-2 formation. Tommy Deitch gets the start in goal for the 3rd time in 5 games in this tournament. The back 4 has Daniel Jarvis at right back, Josh Williams and Theo Vassell in the middle, and Lewis Banks at left back. Toby Wells had started the tournament at left back, still not 100%, but could be available off the bench today. Theo Brierley starts at right mid. Johnville, Rene Pringle, and Ollie Shenton start in the middle. Tom Shepard starts on the left. Up front, Julian Ngoy, the Belgian Youth International, and Charles Weston Hales, 4 goals and an assist in the 4 games of this tournament. He's one player who has already trained with Stoke's first team on occasion. Stoke win it right here, but it turns back over. Stoke staff on hand, the Director of Youth Development, Dave Wright, and the Head of Coaching, Jimmy Hunter, manning the sidelines for the Potters. Johnville Rene Pringle won that one for Stoke City. Goes forward to Ngoy with his back to goal. But Salt Lake, through sheer numbers, able to win the ball there. Real Salt Lake comes out in a 4-2-3-1 formation. Christian Herrera, the goalkeeper, 6'6", the U.S. under-18 international, gets the start at the back as he has every game. Aaron Herrera is the right back. You saw his winning penalty kick. The center backs, Miles Stray and Justin Glad. Now, Glad has already signed with the RSL first team just 2 weeks ago, and will join them this summer after completing the academy season. So he's number 3 at the back. We'll get a look at Justin Glad later on as we play through that one. Salt Lake was looking for the free kick. They didn't get it, and they'll collect with Justin Glad at the back. So Herrera, Stray, and Glad, the defenders. Diego Silva is going to slide to left back. We've seen him at left wing. He loves to get forward. So an attacking player at left back for Real Salt Lake. That's a change in their lineup from the rest of the tournament. The holding midfielders, Fito Ovalle and Danny Acosta. The attacking midfielders, Tate Schmidt on the right. You saw his tying goal in these teams' first meeting. Evan Waldrop in the middle, and this man, Sebastian Saucedo, on the left. Lost control of the ball there, but won it back. He's another Real Salt Lake player who's recently been called up to the U.S. under-18 national team. And that's Josh Dowdy, the forward. Back from Schmidt, and it's cleared away by Theo Vassell for the game's first corner kick. So again, for Real Salt Lake, Acosta and Ovalle, the holding mids. Tate Schmidt, Evan Waldrop, Sebastian Saucedo, the attacking mids. Josh Dowdy, the man up top, and the Academy Technical Director, Martin Vasquez. 4 minutes in, first corner kick, floated back post, looking for the head of Miles Stray. It's off his head and out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick to Stoke City. Glad you could join us wherever you're watching. England, the Mountain Time Zone, anywhere else. We appreciate you tuning in throughout the tournament. It's been a fun week. Again, these are under-17 teams, so players born 1997, 1998, or 1999. We're playing 2 35-minute halves, so a 70-minute game. 5 substitutions allowed per team, no re-entry, of course. And if we're tied, we will go straight to penalty kicks to decide the tournament title, and that has happened all too often in the tournament's history. Started back in 2007, and we've had more finals decided by penalty kicks than not, unfortunately, but it does lend itself to some great drama. Long ball here looking for Schmidt, easily dealt with by Josh Williams in the middle of the Stoke defense. Here's Tom Shepard in the center circle for Weston Hales. Neat little move the first time, then he was knocked off the ball by Ovalle. Long ball for Josh Doughty, battling with Vassell, and a foul whistled against Doughty, who's from Phoenix but plays internationally for Canada via his parents' heritage. He could represent either the U.S. or Canada. There's Vassell, who's been very good in the tournament. Vassell got matched up with Flamengo's number 9, Felipe Vizeu, on Friday night, and after he and Josh Williams struggled to deal with Vizeu in the first 10 minutes, Williams had to make a goal line clearance that we didn't show you to save a goal for Stoke in the 4th minute. After that, they dealt with him remarkably well, and he was actually subbed off. This is a guy who had been one of the top players in the tournament as well. Saucedo knocked that one forward. The Stoke backline will bring it all the way back to Deitch. International training camps for England at the under-16 level. A couple of call-ups for Tommy Deitch. And again, he and Chris Marquis have split time in this tournament. Weston Hales and Stray battling. And Weston Hales believes he has a corner, and he does not. And you can see his disagreement with the call of Victor Rivas. We talked to Charles Weston Hales last night about the tournament in general and coming to the U.S., and I think the thing that had stuck with him the most was playing against traveling fans, because Real Salt Lake had a lot of fans on Tuesday night from a Utah youth club that was in the area for a different tournament, came to support their local team. Several alumni from that club play for Real Salt Lake now, and they were giving it to Stoke City pretty good, and Charles Weston Hales gave it back when he scored the go-ahead goal. And of course, Real Salt Lake winning the shootout, and so the locals got the last laugh. So you could tell it was a learning experience, but a good one for Weston Hales. Waldrop tries to find Saucedo, and it was knocked away by the right back, Jarvis. And it was off the hand of Saucedo. It'll be a free kick to Stoke. Now, much of the tournament, we've seen Saucedo, again wearing number 10 for Real Salt Lake, playing that central attacking role. He's wide on the left today, in part to get Evan Waldrop, who's in the middle, in the game. We'll see if he's as effective out there as he was in the middle. He had 2 assists from left mid on Friday night, so it's not like he doesn't know how to play the position. That cross by Brierley deflected out for a Stoke corner.
Just me and you.
9th minute, early going from the Generation Adidas Cup Championship game.
Okay, I thought I heard him say beer garden.
Toyota Stadium, home of FC Dallas, and all the teams were here last night when FC Dallas played Toronto FC. Dallas winning that one on a late goal. Teams were presented on the field at halftime. 9 MLS teams qualified for the 12-team event. 3 international teams were invited for the first time. Stoke trying to do them proud and win it. They take the corner short, played across, and it's deflected inside the penalty area off a couple of Real Salt Lake heads. It'll be another corner for Stoke City. Ollie Shenton to deliver for Stoke City. Punched out by Herrera, but kept alive by Stoke. Shepard tried to hit that one. It was blocked. Weston Hale's so good at using his body to create space and hold the ball. Couldn't get a shot off there. This is Saucedo for Salt Lake. Aaron Herrera, the right back, getting forward. Lewis Banks dealt with that. Neat touch by Shenton to hold possession for Stoke. This is Miles Stray. He's thinking about letting it run, and he's going to have to hold off the challenge of Weston Hales to do so. Dowdy tried to touch that one onto Waldrop. Fell to Josh Williams instead. Rarely tried to feed Julien Ngoy. Was playing through a bit of an injury. Was injured in a collision with the Toronto FC goalkeeper in a game on Thursday. Hit the post on the play and had to come out. He recovered to start both Friday and today, but you would think he'll likely be substituted off at some point in the second half. Very warm today. We had cooler temperatures earlier in the week, but playing in the heat of late morning, early afternoon, probably be a challenge for both teams, especially playing their 5th game in 7 days. Acosta wins that for Real Salt Lake. Gets it to Tate Schmidt, chance to cross, plays it in, looking for Dowdy. It runs all the way through. And Jarvis, the right back, able to clear. And Ngoy's first touch got it to Weston Hale up on his thigh. And again, true to form, he's able to win the ball. He and Saucedo tied for the tournament scoring lead with 4 goals. Amir Bashti from San Jose is actually also up to 4 goals through the consolation brackets, but I think the Golden Boot is going to somebody from the championship bracket. Both Saucedo and Weston Hales producing a goal and an assist on Friday. This is Saucedo. Schmidt had that one bobble up off his shin. Stoke, one of the best defensive teams in the tournament, just 5 goals allowed in 4 games. I beg your pardon, sorry, 4 goals allowed in 4 games. I thought that sounded high. A couple of shutouts. And the 2-2 ties with Real Salt Lake and Flamengo, who are the other 2 top teams in the tournament. Really, those 3 have separated themselves from the pack, although we heard FC Dallas was leading Flamengo in the 3rd place game on one of the other fields. Saucedo, you see him come centrally there from the left side, lays it off for Schmidt. Schmidt cut back, got fouled by the left back Banks. He thought Schmidt made a bit much of it, but it is a foul in the corner and a free kick chance for Real Salt Lake. Deitch aligning a 2-man wall covering that near post. Saucedo, the righty, in your picture. And Tate Schmidt, the lefty, farther in the corner, standing over it for Real Salt Lake. 14th minute chance. Saucedo chips it in. Headed over the top. That was Justin Glad, the homegrown signing at center back today. And he got a solid head to it, but couldn't keep it down.
Next one. Hey, head up. Turn around. Ball.
Real Salt Lake, in contrast to Stoke, has been the 2nd highest scoring team in the tournament, behind only Flamengo. They beat the LA Galaxy 6-1 on Thursday in one of the more impressive performances. That touch got away from Ngoy. Glad still has to play it away for a Stoke throw-in. Here's a look back at the free kick. Justin Glad got to it with Lewis Banks on him. Height advantage for Glad there, but he couldn't keep it on target. There is Justin Glad out of Tucson, Arizona. And again, Real Salt Lake's homegrown territory, the area from which they're able to draw players for MLS contracts, includes its home state of Utah and the adjacent state of Arizona. That one's out for a Stoke City throw-in. So even though it's a residency program, the majority of players for Real Salt Lake come from those two states. And via the academy rules, you get 8 exceptions. Players you can sign to a homegrown deal from outside of your homegrown area. Real Salt Lake already used 1 this year with Jordan Allen. Waldrop goes back to the goalkeeper, Christian Herrera from Las Cruces, New Mexico. That one played forward. John Vilrene Pringle got a foot to it and comes away with it for Stoke City. One of several players in the team who have seen action with Stoke's under 18s this year. Waldrop kept that one alive for Salt Lake. Ovalle to the left back, Diego Silva. And again, he loves to get forward. We haven't really seen him do so very much today. He's forward right now with Saucedo coming inside. That one picked off by Shenton for Stoke. Again, he tried to feed Ngoy and broken up by Ovalle. Waldrop trying to play Josh Doughty through right side of the penalty area. Looked like he might have been offside, but the play continues to the goalkeeper, Deitch.
Decisions for the team, not because he yells.
Saucedo lays off for Doughty. Tate Schmidt now on the right. He has Waldrop at the back post all by himself. Plays it low. And Vassell able to clear for Stoke City. Real Salt Lake in the second half of that head-to-head game on Tuesday against Stoke really was the dominant team. Stoke was up 1-0 from the early goal, and Real Salt Lake really came out with energy after halftime, dominated the second half. It ended with that wild 2-2 tie, but in that second half you saw Real Salt Lake's potential. They really showed it in the first half against the LA Galaxy, but putting together a full 70 minutes of that type of effort has not been easy for them in the tournament. Second corner for RSL here. Third time in the tournament championship game for Salt Lake. They won it in 2008 on penalty kicks. They lost it in 2010 on penalty kicks. Corner is headed away at the near post. I told you, almost all of these finals have gone to penalty kicks. You just hope we get some goals before we get there.
Get it wide! Careful, Aaron, careful. Where's his option?
Tate Schmidt back to Herrera, and Weston Hales deflects it. The throw-in goes to Real Salt Lake. Dave Wright not happy about that. Dave Wright bravely wearing long sleeves in this weather. And players very grateful to be in short sleeves across the board as this one runs out for another Salt Lake corner kick. 19th minute, no score. Real Salt Lake and Stoke City in the Generation Adidas Cup final. Headed to the back post looking for the twin towers of Stray and Glad, and it's fired up into the stands in the end by Ovalle.
Pick up, stay high, that's right. Justin.
We told you about Stoke City's ties, 2-2 against RSL, 2-2 against Flamengo. We didn't tell you about their wins. They opened the tournament beating the LA Galaxy 2-0. Lewis Banks, again the defender, with a heck of a left-footed goal following a corner kick. And then from another set piece, he set up Charles Weston Hales for the second goal in that one. And then Thursday, needing a win to qualify as the best second-place team, a workmanlike 1-0 win over Toronto FC, which has unfortunately gone 0-5 in the tournament. 1-0, early goal from Weston Hales in that one. Back pass put Deitch under some pressure, and Josh Doughty deflects it out for a goal kick. A few strong words from the Stoke City sideline there. Unfortunately for the Stoke players, I don't think they got to see any of their countrymen in the MLS game last night. Jermaine Defoe of Toronto is injured, as Danny Acosta was really late there. It'll be a free kick to Stoke City. The Brazilian kids from Flamengo were so excited that Julio Cesar was playing in the game. There are actually 3 Brazilians, but Julio Cesar, obviously likely World Cup goalkeeper for Brazil, and the Flamengo kids really wanted to find a way to meet him after the game. And to be honest, I don't know if it happened. I'm not sure that it was a high percentage situation for him. A protracted discussion there about whether it's a throw-in or a foul, and in the end it's a throw-in.
Miles, drop more, Miles, drop more.
Most of what we're hearing is coming from the Real Salt Lake bench due to our mic placement, so it's mostly Martin Vasquez you're hearing, a mix of English and Spanish. One of the few players who has represented both Mexico and the United States. Not easy to do. Weston Hales bumped Ovalle off the ball. Doesn't have a lot of support at the moment, though. And it's out for a goal kick after the challenge by Ovalle. There's a look at it. I think Weston Hales thought he was fouled, and if he wasn't fouled, he thought the ball was out off of Ovalle. Charles Weston Hales from Lewisham. Won't turn 17 until July. And again, he and Saucedo in a 1v1 battle for the Golden Boot as the tournament's top scorer, each with 4 goals coming in. They're both part of excellent teams, of course, but you kind of get the feeling that whoever wins it today is going to get a goal from one of those two or a special play from one of those two. As Ngoy's whistled for the foul, it'll be a free kick to Stoke City. 23rd minute of 35 minutes in this first half, 70-minute games, with every team playing 5 games in 7 days this week. So look back at the foul. Diego Silva on the receiving end of the Ngoy tackle. Here's Glad for Real Salt Lake. Acosta. Aaron Herrera inside to Ovalle. Pressured by Weston Hales. Probably still smarting a bit from the last challenge. In the end, Stoke able to win the ball. Neat touch by Rene Pringle. But just cleared up field. It's mostly Real Salt Lake possession in this first half. Real Salt Lake, first team getting a win last night against the Portland Timbers, so a good week so far for RSL. They'll try and cap it with a tournament title here. And in case you're wondering, their cheering section is here. The La Roca Football Club from Layton, Utah, I believe, is down in the seats to our left. Acosta for RSL. Glad looking for the run of Saucedo. Brings it down on his left foot against Daniel Jarvis. Good help from Theo Brerley, and he's going to get called for a foul a little bit harshly. Stoke City bench disagrees with the call. And it'll be a free kick to Real Salt Lake. There's a look at it. Yep, his hands are on him. But Saucedo went down quickly as well. So it'll be a free kick to Real Salt Lake. There's a look at Jimmy Hunter, not happy about that. He's not afraid to let the fourth official know what's running through his mind. 25 minutes in, no score. Free kick for Real Salt Lake. And Sebastian Saucedo drives it in low through everybody, and it's in! Goal number 5 in the tournament for Sebastian Saucedo. And Real Salt Lake takes advantage of the set piece. They lead it 1-0 after 26 minutes. Sebastian Saucedo at it again. Here's a look. Dangerous ball in low, and it runs through everybody. Nothing you can really do about that as a goalkeeper, because you're waiting for a touch to take you the other way if any player gets a foot to it. And instead it runs all the way in for the opening goal. So unfortunate for Stoke City, and it's the first time they've trailed in this tournament. They had scored first in every game. Seen teams come back on them. Now they're going to have to try and rally from behind. Down a goal, late first half against Real Salt Lake. Long ball out of the back, too far for anybody in red and white. So it'll be a throw into Real Salt Lake in its own half. Aaron Herrera taking his time to find the ball. There is some wind on the field. This stadium is below ground level, so you don't get as much wind as we did on the outer fields, but there is some wind. And what there is at the back of Stoke City in this first half. Waldrop with a chance to turn for Real Salt Lake. Swings it left for Diego Silva. Saucedo outside of him. Broken up by Brerley, and Jarvis able to clear for Stoke.
Stay.
Acosta switches for Schmidt. Herrera the overlap. Tom Shepard staying with him and knocks it out. Again wanted to throw in and didn't get it. Real Salt Lake takes quickly, looking for Waldrop. And it's knocked up and out by the captain, Lewis Banks. Fourth corner of the game for Real Salt Lake. Left-footed corner, floated to the back post. Shot coming over the top from Ovalle, off the mark. And it'll be a goal kick for Deitch. Here's a look back at this one, played all the way to the back post, and Ovalle had room. Just sailed on him a little bit and caused him to fire wide. Clearance right up the middle, falls to Acosta for RSL. Saucedo wanted the ball quickly. They weren't able to find him. Now they target Schmidt, dealt with well by Josh Williams. And he had one of the defensive plays of the tournament on Friday night. And Banks heads this one away. It runs out for a Salt Lake throw-in in the right corner.
Diego, you can go up and in into the midfield line. That's how we handle it, Miles. We win it higher up the court.
Waldrop from Glendale, Arizona, to Schmidt from Phoenix. Floats it in for Saucedo, ducks under it, and takes it on the left side of the field.
Danny, better shake, Danny.
Ovalle. Acosta. Aaron Herrera. And Real Salt Lake keeps it at the back. And Stoke really struggling to get hold of the ball and find a way to clear with possession right now. It's all banged up stuff like that. And Ngoy draws a foul there against Acosta at the halfway line. About 5 minutes to go until halftime here at Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas. Real Salt Lake with a 1-0 lead. They've had the better of play, haven't created a lot of clear-cut chances. And the goal coming on a free kick from the wing that sailed all the way through on one bounce. And that free kick was eventually given, and it will be a chance for Stoke to respond from a set piece.
Greg, get out of there. Get out. Josh, in the hole.
Jostling at the top of the area as Tom Shepard prepares to send this one in. Shepard's delivery low at the near post, and it's covered by Christian Herrera. I don't know if that's where Shepard intended it. It will go down as Stoke's first shot of the game. Miles Stray, the youngest starter for Real Salt Lake at age 15. Only a sophomore in high school from Point Reyes, California. He's one of the center backs alongside Glad. And Glad's pass that time ran out of bounds. Throw into Stoke City. And they give it right back off the throw, and not exactly what they had designed there.
Daddy, you have to get it out for us. Let them know you're there.
Silva to Waldrop. Tate Schmidt making a run behind the back line. Tate Schmidt running onto this. He's already scored against Stoke once in the tournament. Hit the crossbar. And it sails over. Tate Schmidt so close to making it 2-0 Real Salt Lake.
Yes, yes, Tate.
Here's a look at the pass by Waldrop. And again, it was running behind the left side of the Stoke defense. Here's the hit by Schmidt. And right where the crossbar and the post come together is where Tate Schmidt's shot found iron. You heard that, make these guys chase. And it's understandable. Stoke has 14 players here. Toby Wells is not at 100%. Chris Marquis is the reserve goalkeeper today. So one close to full strength substitute available. A team that's played 5 games in 7 days with that group. They're going to be a little tired. Real Salt Lake has used similar starters in most games, but they've had more to go to in terms of a bench. Saucedo and Waldrop tried a 1-2, but Saucedo let that one get away from him. Rene Pringle broke it up for Stoke. Jarvis, that one ended up to nobody. I don't know if he thought Rene Pringle had gone forward there or not. Real Salt Lake on the counter. Waldrop tried to poke it through to Saucedo, but wasn't where either player wanted it. Brearley's pass broken up by a hustling Tate Schmidt. Definitely a little more in the tank for Real Salt Lake right now at the end of this first half. And that's a worrisome sign for Stoke. They'll obviously get 10 minutes to regroup at the half. Stray had to hustle to keep that one in. And Ovalle ran into trouble against Shepard and Ngoy. Be a throw in for Stoke. Shepard chest down to Rene Pringle, left corner. Banks mishit his cross. And that one cleared into the middle of the field to Stray. Beg your pardon, to Waldrop. The Stoke bench is wisely stocking up on water already for the halftime break. It is hot out there, and these guys have played a lot of minutes this week. Silva tried to switch it, and we have halftime from Frisco, Texas. Real Salt Lake, a little more energy, a little more pep in their step, and the one goal on the scoreboard courtesy of a set piece. I'm sure Stoke will be frustrated with the award of the set piece in the first place, as Sebastian Saucedo's free kick in on one bounce, intended as a cross, bounced in at the far post, untouched, and has Real Salt Lake in front. 1-0 at halftime. We'll take a break of about 10 minutes, come back with second half action. It's the Generation Adidas Cup championship game from Frisco, Texas. At the half, Real Salt Lake 1, Stoke City 0. Back here in Dallas, and the only goal of the game, Sebastian Saucedo's free kick, 26th minute. Nobody touched it on its way through, straight into the back of the net. His 5th goal of the tournament, the most of any player, and that has given Real Salt Lake a 1-0 lead as we head to the second half. The final 35 minutes to decide the Generation Adidas Cup title, and you can see Stoke City trying to find some of that energy. They've been really good in finding late goals in games. They've scored in the 70th minute twice in this tournament. On the other hand, they've given up goals in stoppage time after each of those. So we'll see what they can conjure in the second half here. A short bench, a hot day, and a motivated opponent. It is not easy for either squad. But you might say Stoke has the harder task, just given its lack of depth in this tournament. There's Saucedo. There's John Villeneuve Pringle, and there's Real Salt Lake ready to kick off the second half. Saucedo now 5 goals, 2 assists in the tournament. Weston Hales for Stoke, 4 goals and 1 assist this week. Again, started on Monday for both of these teams, running through to the final this afternoon. Second half action from the Generation Adidas Cup Championship game from Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas, just outside of Dallas. And Saucedo fouled right off the bat. Jarvis, the right back, whistled for the foul and getting a request to calm down from Victor Rivas, our lead official. Again, Kyle Atkins, Danny Thornberry, the assistant referees, Rubiel Vasquez, the 4th official. And these officials have been out here longer than the teams even, because they're generally working both time slots in a given day. So good work by them as well all week. And remember, they're being assessed too. But the focus on the field, and Real Salt Lake has the 1-0 lead as we open this second half. No changes for either team that we've seen thus far, and I don't believe there are any. Diego Silva, the left back. He's out of Provo, Utah. Another guy who's played for U.S. youth national teams. Glad backward to Christian Herrera. Today is his 17th birthday. Trying to cap it with the tournament title. Lewis Banks celebrated his birthday last Sunday and then scored the following day. Christian Herrera trying to do it on his birthday. And a foul there. Clearly was waiting to see if there was an advantage. There was none, and Josh Williams picks up the first yellow card of the game. It'll be the 37th minute for the yellow card, and here's a look at it. Late and caught Tate Schmidt on the ankle. So Glad switches to Schmidt, who was fouled to set up that free kick. Aaron Herrera. Schmidt couldn't keep it in. It'll be a throw into Stoke City on that far side with Banks. He was one of the ones energetically clapping, trying to keep his team's spirits high as they trail by a goal early in the second half. This is Shepard. Lost the ball. Saucedo up the middle for Real Salt Lake. Sebastian Saucedo still with the ball in the box. Fires low and well wide. He may have been looking for Doughty. He may have been shooting. In either event, he did not achieve his objective. It's a goal kick for Deitch. It may have been a hit it to the back post and hope it either goes in or runs to Dowdy. And again, neither came off. And Goy did well to win the throw there for Stoke City on the far sideline. That's Shepherd. He plays internationally for Wales. He's actually red carded in the opening game of the tournament after receiving a second yellow. Had to sit out a game. Not a good thing when you have as thin a bench as Stoke City has. But in this case, they've got a free kick in a similar spot to that from which Saucedo scored in the first half. In this case, though, lining it up with the left foot. Here's the cross going back post, looking for Williams. He got ahead to it, but right at the goalkeeper, Herrera, and he outlets quickly. Looking for Saucedo, and he earned a throw in for Real Salt Lake. So it wasn't the high percentage chance they wanted, but it was a look off the set piece for Stoke City. Second save of the game for Christian Herrera. That one stayed in with Silva, but Jarvis was able to win it for Stoke. Now Rene Pringle went into the tackle, won the ball initially, and then Acosta called for pulling him back. Little indecision there before the foul was given, but it's another free kick chance for Stoke, and I think you can tell they want to take advantage of these. The big guys are coming up from the back once they make sure they're covered. Theo Vassell making sure somebody's staying back before he trots upfield. Because in this weather, taking advantage of your set pieces takes on added importance. Once again, it'll be the left foot of Shenton to restart for Stoke. Floats it in. Williams got ahead to it. It's going to come back to Ollie Shenton on his right foot, and he caught that one off his shin, out for a Herrera goal kick. Real Salt Lake won the United States Development Academy's Under-16 championship last year with a number of these players playing roles, 4 of them starters in the championship game. That league includes most MLS academies, but also includes other clubs from around the country. And Real Salt Lake doing very well this year in the same competition. Saucedo in that left-hand roll, tried to switch it. Lewis Banks read it well for Stoke. Here's Shepherd. Back to Williams. Williams, another one who's only 15, doesn't turn 16 until next month. He started the play. It comes to Weston Hales. Drives it in low, looking for Ngoy. Leaves it in the penalty area, barely fighting for it. Rene Pringle. Ball still loose and poked away. Banks steps forward, and it's cleared straight up in the air. Nobody reacting to the first one. Williams got ahead to the second. Jarvis may have gotten away with using his hands there. They get it forward for Weston Hales. He's onside, but gives it away backward to Saucedo. Schmidt, Dowdy was offside. The flag is up, and it's a free kick to Stoke. Good in and out movement by Real Salt Lake, but Dowdy had just strayed behind the last man. There's Josh Dowdy, 3 goals in the tournament, including 2 on Friday night against FC Dallas. He also had the first goal of the tournament back on Monday for Real Salt Lake against Toronto. Long ball looking for Brierley, and it's out for a Real Salt Lake throw-in. 44th minute, Real Salt Lake leading Stoke City. It's the Generation Adidas Cup Championship game, MLS's under-17 tournament, and 3 international clubs invited this year. Stoke City making it to the title game. Brierley playing it in Goy. His shot ties the game for Stoke City. Brierley set it up in Goy with the finish. And we've got a game all tied 1-1 in the 44th minute.
Respond! Respond! Miles! Chris!
Theo Brierley started the play that led to the penalty kick being called in the first half on Friday. And his run at the top of the penalty area set up that man, Julien Ngoy, who scored in these teams' first meeting, and he tied the game. Here's a look at Brierley. He had a lot to do when he picked up the ball. Fought off one tackle, threw with the left foot, and Ngoy got it underneath the legs of the 6'6" Herrera. What a big goal for Stoke City, not to leave it till the last 10 minutes. And they get it in the 44th minute, 1-1 the score. And you have to believe that's going to bring them a lot of energy. Here goes Shepard looking for Ngoy, and Miles Stray was able to slow things down. Good touch by Jarvis to find Brierley. Weston Hales. Inside for Shenton. Great at holding the ball in tight space. Weston Hales tried to switch. It was headed away by the right back, Aaron Herrera. Rene Pringle, Stoke City, feeling the momentum right now. Cross going back post looking for Weston Hales, and it hung up in the breeze, and Herrera able to grab it. Great touch by Diego Silva to take him forward. Then he tripped on the ball. As good as his first touch was, his second was equally disappointing, and Stoke City have it at the back. So a very different game now, 1-1 with 25 minutes to go. And again, Stoke's given us some of the more entertaining games of the tournament. The 2-2 game with Real Salt Lake last Tuesday, the 2-2 game with Flamengo on Friday night. And they're keeping it entertaining today, 1-1, early stages of the second half. Here's Evan Waldrop, head up, all kinds of room. Trying to pick it out. He finds Schmidt on the right, and he had drifted offside. And a frustrated look from Evan Waldrop. Warm Easter afternoon in North Texas. And these teams feeling the heat and feeling the pressure. 1-1 in the second half. Again, 70 minutes we're playing. No extra time, so if we were tied at the end of 70 minutes, we'd determine the title on penalty kicks. Real Salt Lake managed to win the ball with a couple of tacklers there. Saucedo, change of pace, left-footed ship back post, and it's wide of the post and too far for the intended target, Ovalle. We've been able to see via their reactions on the field, via Twitter, via talking to them after the games, what this tournament means to players on both sides. Dave Wright telling us last night that his kids are not used to tournament football, and this is kind of a different environment for them, playing 5 games in 7 days. That's not normal for anybody, let's be honest. But the MLS teams do play multiple showcases throughout the year where they play 3 games in a week. And so it's really been a growing experience for Stoke City. I don't think many of the players have been to the U.S. before. I know Weston Hales told us it was his first time. Doughty tried to find Saucedo. It was not hit hard enough. Real Salt Lake readying the first substitute of the game for the next stoppage of play. 49th minute, 1-1. Sebastian Saucedo for Real Salt Lake, Julien Ngoy for Stoke. Probably means Charles Weston Hales has one more left in him so that he can keep pace with Saucedo. Salt Lake took the restart quickly. Saucedo, great outside of the foot pass. Schmidt let it go for Herrera. Herrera had broken inside. He thought Schmidt was going to take the pass, and it runs out for a throw-in. This time, Real Salt Lake will make the substitution. Gavino Carranza, often the starting left back for Salt Lake, is going to come in. The substitution will be in the 50th minute. Evan Waldrop is coming out. This will push Diego Silva to the wide left attacking midfield spot, and Bofo Saucedo into the central spot, perhaps his more natural position. So again, Carranza, the new left back, and Diego Silva now at left wing for Salt Lake. Carranza, one of those from Tucson, a couple of hours from Casa Grande in Arizona, where Real Salt Lake's academy is set up. Residential academies are the setup du jour in MLS. Real Salt Lake was the first. FC Dallas has set one up. Vancouver has one. And Philadelphia is the latest club to near that setup. They've now got their own high school, so they can control both the soccer and the education part of their kids' experiences. 20 minutes to play here, 1-1 between Real Salt Lake and Stoke City. It's been a great tournament. We've been fortunate to bring you some of the most exciting games. And we're hoping for an exciting finish in this one as well. Carranza with his first touch as a throw-in, and Saucedo whistled for fouling Williams. Players from these teams did interact a bit at the game last night. We saw Saucedo talking to Kyron Hamilton and some of the other Stoke players. All smiles, of course. When they haven't been able to trade jerseys during the tournaments, you're obviously not going to bring 5 sets of jerseys that you can give away, but you wonder if maybe they'll trade some after this one. Second time these teams have played, and both hard-fought, close encounters. Rene Pringle couldn't keep that one in. It'll be a throw-in to Real Salt Lake. Carranza whistled for a foul. Needless one, and Theo Brierley will get a drink of water. Jarvis restarted short and then got himself in trouble. Sandwiched between 2 players, and he fouls Josh Doughty.
17.
That one given away to Weston Hales, always pressuring the back line, fighting physically, won it from Acosta. Cutting back to his right foot, drops it off for Rene Pringle. Now Brierley created the Stoke goal in the game. Gets to his right foot, gets by Carranza, and it's cleaned up by Justin Glad. That cross blocked by Diego Silva. And it'll be a throw into Stoke as Jimmy Hunter wants an explanation for something. We got a smile out of him. Rene Pringle, neat work to create some space, tried to cut inside and wins another throw-in. So a much better second half from Stoke City. Obviously they needed to chase the game a little bit down a goal, but they've had a lot more of the ball. Jarvis's cross, Herrera punched it away, unconvincing, and it's out for a corner kick, and Christian Herrera and Aaron Herrera are down after colliding on this cross from Jarvis. Both back to their feet now, And evidently okay. Victor Rivas making sure. So everybody's good. It'll be the third corner for Stoke City. Ollie Shenton to take it from the right. Looking for Williams. His header was wide. That was a chance for Josh Williams. You can see his head in his hands just after the shot, still frustrated. He had a good look at it, not for the first time today. And here's a look. Great ball from Shenton as usual, and Williams just couldn't get that on target. He had a chance earlier from a free kick, but wasn't able to power that one and headed it right to Herrera. So Stoke City growing in confidence in this second half. 1-1, 15 minutes to play. Williams pushed off. The ball falls to Real Salt Lake anyway with Schmidt. Doughty playing it back to Tate Schmidt. He's just offside. Close call against Banks over there, and Lewis Banks restarts quickly. I love these kids want to win it in regulation. Nobody wants to have to go to penalty kicks to decide this. They're trying to move quickly and get a goal. Neat triangle passing there. Banks stepping forward. Inside, Shepard looking for Weston Hales. It was broken up, but Real Salt Lake dropping deeper and deeper at the moment. Shenton, surrounded by 3 players, able to get away with it. Neat touch by Jarvis. Wanted to get it to Shenton, does so. Renee Pringle. All kinds of space for Stoke City. This looks like the first half on Tuesday as that pass goes awry. The message at halftime on Tuesday from Real Salt Lake was you're giving them too much space. You need to close down the space, and they were terrific at it in the second half. But right now, 5 days later, it kind of appears like they've forgotten that message. And I don't say that to demean Stoke. That's talking in terms of the excellent off-ball movement by Stoke that we've seen at times today. Doughty and Saucedo combined. Saucedo racing with Williams. And he touched the ball, but it was clearly out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick. I don't think even he could not realistically expect a penalty kick there. What a great tournament this has been for these teams. Really, these two and Flamengo have been the most entertaining teams to watch in the tournament. FC Dallas, the other semifinalist, beat Flamengo 1-0 for third place. And FC Dallas, much more defensive in its results in the tournament, much lower scoring. So I have to say, I've enjoyed watching these three the most. They've also given us terrific drama, which doesn't hurt. And Goy brings that one down for Stoke City, which is readying its first and possibly only substitution. They get it to Shepard. He got a touch, free on the left-hand side. Shepard's cross, looking for Weston Hales. Glad headed it up and away and out for a Stoke corner. Last 10 minutes have been all Stoke City. And Ollie Shenton will trot over for his fourth corner. Williams and Vassell, the center backs, trotting up there. Renee Pringle trotting to the near post. The cross goes back post, and Glad heads away. Shepard tried to get it back to Shenton, and he wasn't able to keep it in. Salt Lake want to throw quickly for Saucedo. Shepard did well to defend that and played all the way back to Deitch. Bit of a miss kick by Deitch, but Stoke win it back. Again, Renee Pringle, Banks, and Shepard, with Shenton involved as well, working that left side. Now they switch it. Williams floats one forward. Jarvis in the direction. And it runs out for a throw. And now we're going to get the sub. And it's actually going to be Tom Shepard coming out for Stoke City. Kyron Hamilton will come on. 16-year-old has a goal and an assist in the tournament. He's been used almost exclusively as a sub. Just one start. And he had one of the biggest goals of the tournament for Stoke City on Friday night in the 70th minute. It put them up 2-1 at the time against Flamengo. As you look at Shepard coming off after putting in a heck of an effort. There's Kyron Hamilton. Gave him a 2-1 lead against Flamengo. The game did finish 2-2, and Stoke won it in a shootout. Brarely down the right wing into the corner. Wouldn't mind taking a corner here, and he does. 60th minute out of 70. Crunch time for Stoke City and Real Salt Lake. It's the 5th corner for Stoke. Shenton sent that one in low and dealt with well by Salt Lake. And we'll reset as everybody trots back to their positions. Christian Herrera yelling instructions. Couple of collisions on the receiving end of that throw-in. Carranza clears up the middle, looking for Doughty. Good touch. Got it to Schmidt.
Get it on the ground and knock it. Knock it. Watch it.
Get it on the ground and knock it. I think we heard that clearly. Slide tackle by Banks. We play advantage to Real Salt Lake. Aaron Herrera, the right back. Back for Doughty. Gonna shoot. Josh Doughty missed wide. And Victor Rivas, our official, now with a word of warning for Lewis Banks for his tackle on the sideline. Not just a warning, he gets a yellow card. Good officiating there to play the advantage and then give the card. And here's the chance as it fell to Josh Doughty, who was looking for his 4th goal of the tournament. Nine minutes plus stoppage time to go. Ovalle won the header. Saucedo got a touch off his chest. Got it to Diego Silva. Here goes Real Salt Lake. Diego Silva cutting it back. Schmidt miskicked, falls to Saucedo, and it's cleared away by Theo Vassell for Stoke City. Real Salt Lake lively at the moment, though. Ovalle trying to get back onto his right foot. It falls to Diego Silva. Herrera hits it from distance. Easy for Deitch. Real Salt Lake readying another substitution. It's Leo Fuchs, who scored the tying goal to make it 1-1 in these teams' first meeting on Tuesday. Weston Hales tried to hold off Stray there. Stray won the header and wins this one long. And now the ball's out for the throw, and we'll get the substitution. Fuchs coming on in the 63rd minute. Fuchs out of Highland, Utah, helped his high school to the state championship game last year. Comes on here in the 63rd minute. Tate Schmidt comes out. We'll see what this does to their shape. I think Fuchs may be going up top with Doughty dropping to an attacking midfield spot on the right. Rene Pringle broke that one up, looking for Hamilton. He couldn't get it to him, though. Stolen by Ovalle. Saucedo tried to feed Fuchs. Vassell stole it and then was fouled. It'll be a free kick to Stoke. Theo Vassell just turned 17 in January. Former forward. Has really been good at center back for a couple of years for Stoke, and especially in this tournament. Weston Hales lays off for Brierley, gets it back, moving off the ball. Early ball for Ngoy over his head. Kyron Hamilton chasing it and ends up blocking it with his head, potentially his face, and Kyron Hamilton going to get checked out after he took a square shot there, and they asked for the training staff, so not a good sign for Kyron Hamilton. And both sides will use this as a chance to hydrate.
Get them together, Bofo.
65th minute, 1-1 as Kyron Hamilton gets checked out. Let's take a look back at how we got here. Again, these teams already met once, tied 2-2. And coming out today, it was Real Salt Lake in the first half taking the lead. Sebastian Saucedo's free kick didn't touch anybody in at the far post to give Real Salt Lake the lead. But in the second half, this effort from Theo Brierley. Touch off his head, gets through one tackle, and then slips one through. Julien Ngoy got it between the legs of Christian Herrera. That tied the game in the 44th minute. And that's where we stand now as Kyron Hamilton is back on his feet after being shaken up. There's a look at what they're playing for. The big one is the championship trophy. We've also got a golden boot, a golden ball, and golden gloves for the top player, the top goal scorer, and the top goalkeeper in the tournament. We will have the awards ceremony for you after our broadcast, so stay tuned for that. Hamilton being waved back on. In the meantime, Real Salt Lake able to restart into his spot on the field. And that one ran away from Herrera. It'll be a goal kick. Hamilton now back in, so 11 against 11 for the remainder of the game. We should get a little bit of stoppage time, but honestly, both these teams look gassed at the moment. I'm not sure if anybody has the energy and the quality at this point in the week for a late winner. We'll see. I've been wrong before. Miles Stray with the header for Real Salt Lake. Saucedo tried to hold off Williams. Ball falls to Salt Lake anyway. Danny Acosta to Saucedo. Gonna shoot from distance, wide of the left post. And Deitch, of course, well aware of the danger that Sebastian Saucedo can pose from distance. We showed you before the game his goal from 35 yards on Friday night. And he also scored from outside the area against the LA Galaxy in this tournament. Ovalle to Diego Silva. Saucedo in the middle of the field again. That time they were able to close him down. This is Dowdy. Neat moves by Josh Dowdy inside to Saucedo. Chipped it for Ovalle. He couldn't come up with it. Diego Silva got a touch on that one and let it run out off of Jarvis for a Real Salt Lake corner kick. 5 corners for each team right now. I've got shots 7-5 in Real Salt Lake's favor, but Stoke City with more shots on goal, 3-2, by virtue of that perhaps mishit Shepherd free kick from the first half. Saucedo's corner, looking for Glad. He headed it over. That would have been storybook to have the recent homegrown signing get it. It took a deflection off a Stoke head on its way out, and it'll be another corner for Real Salt Lake. Looking for Glad, and his header is right at Deitch. Couple of chances for the newest professional member of the Real Salt Lake family, but Tommy Deitch well positioned to stop that one. Vassell for Stoke, played it up to himself and continued forward. Here's Brierley, and he was looking up for Weston Hales and let his touch get away from him.
Get it again, Vito, we're here.
Shenton broke that one up for Stoke, spins with the ball and keeps it moving to Hamilton. Renee Pringle tried to return it to him, and it's broken up by Herrera. Saucedo let that one drift under his boot, and we've seen some missed touches here, and it's fatigue more than anything else. That one out for a Stoke throw-in. Oliver Roberts chasing it down to keep the game moving for Stoke. Weston Hales able to create enough havoc that fell to Brierley. Now Shenton inside looking for Ngoy. Miles Stray broke it up. Good work by Ngoy to keep pressuring, but he gets called for a foul. The Stoke bench furious about it. They've been asking for a little more work on the defensive side of the ball from Julien Ngoy, and he did it there, just got called for the foul. Back here in North Texas, 1-1 as we get into stoppage time of this one between Real Salt Lake and Stoke City. A slight technical problem with our mic there. We'll try and straighten that out before the conclusion of this one. So 1-1, the goals from Sebastian Saucedo from Real Salt Lake, Julien Ngoy for Stoke City. We'll have some stoppage after the injury to Hamilton. Diego Silva going forward for Real Salt Lake, and it runs out of bounds for a goal kick. Good decision there by Josh Williams to let it run and cover it. Four out of the 6 championship games have been decided by penalty kicks, and we're very likely looking at 5 out of 7 here, unless we get some late drama, which of course we've had in the tournament. Carranza to throw quickly. And there's full time. 1-1, we're going to penalty kicks yet again. These two teams tied 2-2 on Tuesday, settled it from the penalty spot. They tie 1-1 in the final. And the tournament title will be decided by penalty kicks as well. It's never the way you want to see one of these things end, but on the other hand, I don't think anybody wanted to make 17-year-olds keep playing after 5 games in 7 days. This is the 7th generation Adidas Cup title match. DC United won the first 3-0 over Kansas City. And then 3 years in a row it went to penalty kicks. Real Salt Lake winning in 2008, DC United winning in 2009 and 2010. And just like the rest of Major League Soccer, after DC United won 3 of the first 4 titles, their first team winning 3 of the first 4 back in the 90s, then things have started to open up. The LA Galaxy won it in 2011 in this stadium. Last year, Philadelphia beat Toronto on penalty kicks. I beg your pardon, 2012. And then this, the first year of the tournament being played on the August to May calendar, or to April in this case. So the 2013-2014 edition will also come down to penalty kicks. Again, on Tuesday, these teams went to penalties. Real Salt Lake shot first, converted 4 out of 5. One shot hit the crossbar to win 4-2. Stoke's shots, again, 2 out of 4. One was saved on the dive by the 6'6" Christian Herrera, and the other missed high. So we'll see if the teams change their shooting orders, change their shooting choices, and how they execute today. Whoever wins this, it's going to be harsh on the loser because both teams have put in a great tournament, and you have to think they've both taken a lot out of this for the future. That's our 4th official, Rubiel Vasquez. There's the Stoke huddle as the captains Glad and Banks meet in the middle of the field. There they are. Looked to me like Stoke won the coin toss, but that's, oh, nope, here we go. We'll have the actual coin toss. I believe we're going to have them at the north end. That's where they were taken on Friday night when Stoke beat Flamengo. In that one, Stoke was 4 out of 5. So it's a bit anticlimactic at the moment after the 1-1 finish. The free kick goal for Real Salt Lake in the first half, and the tying goal in the 44th minute from Ngoy. And Christian Herrera has a piece of paper ready to go for Real Salt Lake. We've seen this in MLS a couple of times recently, and they've apparently done their homework. You can see in the background the goalkeeper Herrera studying his notes. I don't see Deitch with any such study mechanisms. It looks like Real Salt Lake will shoot first. Fito Ovalle going to be the first shooter against Deitch. Marquis, the other goalkeeper, took the shootout on Friday night for Stoke City, but it'll be Deitch here. Here we go. Penalty kicks to decide the title. Ovalle shoots first. Yes, got it in just off the hands of Deitch. He guessed correctly, but waited, I think, until Ovalle showed him which side he was going to, and that may have prevented him from keeping it out. So Real Salt Lake leads the shootout 1-0. It'll be Josh Williams to shoot first for Stoke. He has not taken a penalty in the tournament. And again, Christian Herrera is 6'6". Imposing sight at any age when you're taking a penalty kick. Josh Williams, yes, got it right-hand side. And it's 1-1 after the first round of penalty kicks. Sebastian Saucedo will be the second shooter for Real Salt Lake. He converted successfully on Tuesday. He's also converted a penalty kick in regulation in this tournament. And again, he's going to be the Golden Boot winner with 5 goals in the tournament, trying to help his team take the title on penalty kicks today. Saucedo. Yes, just inside the right-hand post. Deitch was there again, but a really good penalty kick from Saucedo, and gives Real Salt Lake a 2-1 lead in the shootout. Kyron Hamilton to shoot second. He saw his shot saved in the shootout on Friday night, but he scored on Tuesday, 1 for 2 in the tournament. Hamilton, yes, got it there, left-hand side out of the reach of Herrera. 2-2 through 2 rounds of the shootout. It'll be Justin Glad next for Real Salt Lake. He was successful against Deitch and Stoke in the shootout on Tuesday. 2-2 in the penalty kicks after a 1-1 tie in the Generation Adidas Cup final. 3rd shootout in 5 games for Stoke City, 2nd for Salt Lake. Justin Glad. Knocked down by Deitch. Big stop for Stoke City. And Justin Glad, head in his hands, frustrated after putting that one too close to the middle. And Charles Weston Hales, one of the big reasons Stoke City is here in the final. 4 goals and an assist in the tournament. He is 3 for 3 on penalty kicks. He scored in both shootouts and a regulation penalty kick on Friday. Chance to give Stoke City the lead. Weston Hales. Saved by Herrera right up the middle. And Real Salt Lake's goalkeeper responds with a stop of his own. We've had drama throughout the tournament, and we are getting it in the penalty kicks. Josh Dowdy to step up for Real Salt Lake. He hit the crossbar on Tuesday against Deitch. As you look back at what got us here, that was Saucedo for Salt Lake. This is live. Dowdy off the posts. 2nd time in as many shootouts Josh Dowdy has hit a good one, but hit the woodwork. And Stoke City, another chance to go in front. It's Johnville Rene Pringle who converted the 4th penalty, the 3rd goal for Stoke City on Friday night. Stoke City are 2 shots away from winning this tournament. And again, for a group that came with 14 age-eligible players, that would be something to write home about. Rene Pringle. Got it! Stoke City leads with 1 round to go. Got Herrera diving the wrong way. And now either a save by Deitch or a make with the final shot would give Stoke City the title. Aaron Herrera stepping up for Real Salt Lake. He had the winning penalty kick against Deitch on Tuesday. Stoke City 3, Real Salt Lake 2 in the shootout. Herrera to keep his team alive. Saved by Deitch, and Stoke City has come to the United States and become the first foreign champion of the Generation Adidas Cup. They win it 3-2 in a shootout. Look at the celebration from Stoke City and the jubilation on those young faces on top of tired legs after a long week in Dallas. And on the other side, Real Salt Lake, so good at times throughout this tournament, comes up just short in a heck of a tournament final. And sportingly, you see Stoke players coming over, patting Sebastian Saucedo on the head, congratulating Real Salt Lake players on a hard-fought tournament. And without the cheering section from Utah that they had on Tuesday, a bit of a different atmosphere, and Real Salt Lake unable to win the shootout against Stoke. 3-2 in the shootout after a 1-1 tie in the match. And in the 7th generation Adidas Cup, the first to include international opponents, it's an international team, Stoke City, that wins it. You can see the emotions. You saw Deitch and Justin Glad exchanging hugs, and Stoke players going to help Aaron Herrera to his feet. This meant a lot to these teams. And Stoke City takes the tournament title 3-2. We'll have the trophy ceremony shortly. First, want to thank our entire crew, Dave Keevil, Steve Kerr, running our operations all week, our entire camera crew, everyone from MLS who helped out at the tournament. And we had a great time bringing it to you. Thanks for joining us on MLSsoccer.com all week. We'll have a recap and statistics from the tournament up later tonight. Again, MLSsoccer.com. My name's Jonathan Yardley. It's been great covering these teams and a very fun tournament to call. And in the end, some of the most entertaining teams you will find at the under-17 level, Real Salt Lake and Stoke City, put on a good final. And that trophy is going to have a very comfortable seat on the way back to the UK. Sebastian Saucedo with the goal in regulation for Real Salt Lake. Julien Ngoy responded from a Theo Brierley assist. That's how we got to the shootout, where Tommy Deitch made 2 saves and got 1 shot off the post, and Stoke City won it 3-2. I believe now would be the time to pass it on to our public address announcer for the awards ceremony.
Facing the camera. Christian! Like instead of giving us their backs.
First, I would like to thank both clubs for participating in the tournament. Stoke for coming over from England, helping us out in the first international event that we've had. It's fun to have you guys here. Hope you guys enjoy what you're doing. Salt Lake, appreciate your participation as well. I want to thank the referees for what they've done, and thank FC Dallas for having us a beautiful facility. I hope that this is a highlight for our own event here and you enjoy the tournament. The winner today is those of us who were able to watch you guys play 2 games in a row. And we were treated not only to a final, we were treated to watching you guys play 2 finals. And I think it shows the quality of both games in the fact that you were both deadlocked after 2 games and they had to go to penalties. First, I would ask for a hand for everybody. And I've asked Oscar Pareja, the head coach of FC Dallas, to help me present them. The first one we would like to present to the goalkeeper of the tournament, and that is from FC Dallas, Charlie Fuhrer, with 3 shutouts in the game. Congratulations. Our next one we'd like to have is for the leading scorer of the tournament, and with 5 goals. That was Sebastian Saucedo from RSL. was not easy to pick an MVP for the tournament. There was a lot of good individual performances, but we felt one player over the course of the 5 matches stood out, not only by providing key goals for his team, by bringing other players into the game, and really shining above the rest of the group. So we want to present this MVP of the tournament to Sebastián Saucedo. Last but not least, present the trophy for the first champion of the first International GA Cup. We have the captain of Stoke City.
Well, you can see what it means to them if you're watching in the UK. Your boys are bringing a trophy home, as it's a very proud day for Stoke City. They win the title on penalty kicks, and again, that trophy's going to have a place of honor on the plane and a place of honor in the Stoke Academy trophy case. This means a lot to these guys. It's pretty cool. In case you couldn't make it out, as the public address system ended up malfunctioning right there at the end. In case you didn't hear, the Golden Gloves Award, as you get a look back at the last penalty kick saved by Deitch.
Thank y'all for helping out today, guys. We appreciate it.
And what it means to Stoke City. They go 2-0-3 in the tournament, but they win the 2 most important shootouts, the semi-final and the final, and every reason to dogpile for the Potters this afternoon. And there's the Generation Adidas Cup that should be making its way to the United Kingdom overnight, I would imagine. The awards in the tournament: Charlie Fuhr, the FC Dallas goalkeeper with 3 shutouts in 5 games, got the Golden Gloves. The Golden Boot and the MVP went to Sebastián Saucedo, 5 goals and 2 assists. And I know our English listeners will be disappointed the MVP didn't come from Stoke, and I'm sure Charles Weston Hales was right up there, but Saucedo really dominated much of this tournament, scoring the opening goal in the final and couldn't find the second one. So deserved honors for him, but well-deserved championship for Stoke City. Here comes the ice bath for Dave Wright. They got him. I didn't know that tradition carried over into the UK. I didn't know that was worldwide, but they got him. And I think it probably felt pretty good. He's wearing long sleeves on a day like this. Thanks to everybody for joining us throughout the tournament. Jonathan Yardley and our entire crew, we've had fun bringing it to you. Again, the final this afternoon, Stoke City and Real Salt Lake tie 1-1. The tournament title goes to Stoke City on penalty kicks, 3-2. Stoke wins the Generation Adidas Cup, the first ever international champion. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage. So long from Texas.